Welcome to Newsbeacon, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. In a move that has captured the world's attention, a recent Google Maps update has thrust the long-standing South China Sea dispute into the global spotlight. What was once a matter of regional contention has now become a topic of international conversation, all because of a subtle but significant change in a digital map. The platform now labels a significant portion of the contested waters as the West Philippine Sea, making the Philippine government's preferred name visible to millions of users around the world. For many, this is the first time they've encountered the term, and it's sparking curiosity and debate far beyond Southeast Asia. This seemingly small digital change has ignited strong reactions from both the Philippines and China. Social media platforms are abuzz with heated discussions, as citizens, analysts, and officials weigh in on what this means for the ongoing territorial dispute. For Manila, the update is seen as a form of international validation, a recognition of their claims in a dispute that has dragged on for decades. For Beijing, however, it's viewed as an unwelcome interference by a foreign tech giant, potentially undermining China's own narrative and claims over the region. The update highlights the growing influence of technology companies in shaping international narratives. What might seem like a simple adjustment to a map is, in reality, a powerful political statement, one that can sway public opinion and even impact diplomatic relations. The timing of the update has reignited diplomatic tensions, forcing both governments to restate their positions on the world stage. Statements have been issued, meetings called, and the issue has once again become a focal point in international diplomacy. In many ways, the digital map now serves as a proxy for the real-world standoff, reflecting the unresolved and deeply complex nature of the dispute. The boundaries on the screen mirror the uncertainty and tension that persist on the water. With just a single change on a popular app, the complexity of the South China Sea conflict has been encapsulated for a global audience. It's a reminder that in our interconnected world, even digital platforms can play a pivotal role in shaping how we see and understand international conflicts. The Philippines has welcomed the Google Maps update with celebration. Officials see it as a symbolic victory, boosting the country's morale and diplomatic efforts. By using West Philippine Sea, Google helps normalize the Philippine perspective globally. This digital recognition supports Manila's strategy to counter China's narrative and build international consensus. The map's label is a powerful public relations tool, educating the world about the Philippine viewpoint. It validates years of legal and diplomatic campaigning, reinforcing the country's identity as a sovereign nation. The move gives the government renewed impetus to defend its claims. For Filipinos, seeing their terminology on a global platform is a meaningful acknowledgement of their struggle. In contrast, China has swiftly and firmly rejected the Google Maps update. Beijing insists on its indisputable sovereignty over the South China Sea, viewing the new label as a provocation. Chinese officials condemn the change, arguing that a private company cannot alter geographic facts or international order. China's response highlights the clash of narratives, modern law versus historical claims. Beijing continues to use its own names and maintains a strong physical presence in the disputed waters. The rejection is part of China's broader strategy to control the narrative and assert its dominance. Despite digital changes, China's message is clear. Its claims are non-negotiable and will be defended vigorously. Central to the Philippines' position is the 2016 International Tribunal ruling. The court found no legal basis for China's expansive claims and affirmed the Philippines' rights within its exclusive economic zone. Manila sees the Google Maps update as an indirect nod to this legal victory. However, China has rejected the ruling from the start, calling it illegitimate and refusing to participate. This fundamental disagreement creates a persistent deadlock. The Philippines champions the ruling as settled law, while China ignores it entirely. The Google update aligns with the spirit of the ruling, but doesn't change the reality at sea. Legal victories remain difficult to enforce against a powerful neighbor that refuses to recognize them. The dispute is not just digital, it plays out in tense encounters at sea. The Philippines reports frequent aggressive actions by Chinese vessels, including blockades and water cannon use. These incidents reflect the high-stakes control over trade routes, fishing grounds, and potential energy reserves. China's assertive actions aim to establish de facto control, while the Philippines increases patrols to protect its rights. The region remains unstable, with both sides accusing each other of provocation. Standoffs near Scarborough Shoal highlight the real-world consequences for Filipino fishermen. China has militarized artificial islands, while the Philippines boosts its defenses with allied support. The risk of escalation is ever present, far beyond the lines on a digital map. Facing pressure from China, the Philippines has strengthened its security alliances, especially with the United States. Their mutual defense treaty has been revitalized through expanded joint military exercises. These drills, often involving other partners, signal deterrence and a commitment to regional security. The Philippines' strategic location makes it a key partner for the U.S. and its allies. Increased U.S. military presence has turned the West Philippine Sea into a focal point of great power competition. Manila relies on alliances as a cornerstone of its defense strategy, knowing it cannot match China alone. Building strong international partnerships provides crucial security guarantees. The ongoing dispute has reinforced these alliances, shaping the Indo-Pacific security landscape. The Philippines-China conflict is part of a larger complex puzzle in the South China Sea. Multiple nations, including Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan, have overlapping claims. The region is a vital shipping lane and holds vast energy and fishing resources. China's sweeping 9-line claim puts it at odds with its neighbors and drives regional tension. The dispute reflects Asia's shifting balance of power, with China seeking regional dominance. Smaller nations, supported by the US and allies, resist China's assertiveness. The struggle is about sovereignty, global commerce, and the rules that govern the seas. The outcome will shape the future security and economic architecture of the region. Google's recent map update wields a surprising and far-reaching influence over how people around the world perceive international boundaries and disputes. What may seem like a simple change on a digital map can actually have profound effects on global understanding and even on the narratives that shape international relations. In today's digital age, platforms like Google Maps, Apple Maps, and other online mapping services are not just tools for navigation, they are powerful shapers of public consciousness. Billions of people rely on these platforms every day, and the way they present information can subtly, yet powerfully, influence how we see the world and its contested spaces. By choosing to label the area as the West Philippine Sea, Google is not just reflecting a local perspective, it is actively normalizing the Philippine narrative on a truly global scale. This digital recognition can validate a nation's stance in the eyes of the international community, making it more than just a technical update. Such digital acts serve as a new form of soft power, amplifying Manila's public diplomacy efforts and giving the Philippines a stronger voice in the ongoing maritime dispute. It's a subtle yet significant way to sway international opinion without firing a single shot. Online maps can legitimize one country's claim while undermining another's, shaping not only public opinion but also influencing policy debates and diplomatic negotiations. The way these platforms present disputed territories can have real-world consequences, affecting how governments and citizens alike understand the stakes. As a result, tech companies now hold immense responsibility. Their decisions about what to display on a map are no longer neutral. They can be interpreted as taking sides in sensitive geopolitical disputes, whether intentionally or not. For the Philippines, this digital recognition is a major diplomatic win, boosting national morale and strengthening its position on the world stage. However, it's important to remember that digital influence, while powerful, has its limits. The reality on the ground, or rather at sea, remains unchanged. Chinese ships continue to patrol the disputed waters and the situation remains tense despite what is shown on a screen. Ultimately, Google's update highlights the growing power of technology in shaping international relations and public perception. But while digital platforms can influence narratives and spark debate, lasting solutions to complex disputes like those in the South China Sea will always require the hard work of diplomacy, negotiation, and adherence to international law. The recent update on Google Maps, renaming the South China Sea as the West Philippine Sea in certain areas, marks a symbolic milestone for the Philippines. This digital change is more than just a new label on a map. It represents a powerful assertion of national identity and pride for many Filipinos, who have long felt overshadowed by larger regional powers. The move has sparked conversations across the country, with social media buzzing and news outlets highlighting the significance of this virtual recognition. However, despite the excitement, this update does not resolve the ongoing and deeply rooted conflict with China. The territorial dispute over these waters remains as complex and contentious as ever, with both sides holding firm to their claims. What this change does accomplish is to amplify Manila's narrative on the global stage. It demonstrates how technology companies, often seen as neutral actors, can play a significant role in shaping international perceptions and even influencing diplomatic debates. The digital world, it seems, is not immune to the pressures and politics of the real one. The fierce reactions from both sides, ranging from official statements to heated debates online, reveal just how deep and entrenched this disagreement is. For many, the map update is a validation. For others, it is a provocation. The Philippines sees the move as a long overdue validation of international law, particularly the 2016 arbitral ruling that favored its claims. Officials have praised the update as a step toward global recognition of their rights in these contested waters. Meanwhile, China has swiftly rejected the change, viewing it as a direct challenge to its sovereignty and territorial integrity. Chinese officials have reiterated their stance, warning against what they see as external interference in regional affairs. On the water, tensions remain high. Naval standoffs and close encounters between patrol boats are frequent, with each side determined to assert its presence and protect its interests. These encounters are not just symbolic, they carry real risks of escalation as vessels from both countries often find themselves in dangerously close proximity, testing each other's resolve. In response, the Philippines has been working to strengthen its alliances, conducting joint naval exercises and deepening ties with regional and global partners. These efforts are aimed at bolstering its security and ensuring that symbolic victories are matched by tangible support. For Manila, it is clear that digital recognition must be backed by real-world security measures. The presence of soldiers and regular patrols underscores the seriousness with which the Philippines views its territorial defense. The South China Sea remains a critical flashpoint, not just for the region, but for global stability. The world watches closely, aware that any miscalculation here could have far-reaching consequences. While the digital map has changed, reflecting a shift in narrative and perception, the underlying realities remain stubbornly unchanged. The hard realities of sovereignty, power, and national interest continue to shape the actions of both countries. Fortified islands, boundary markers, and military outposts are daily reminders of the stakes involved. As the sun sets over Manila and the wider Asia-Pacific region, one thing is certain: this dispute will continue to shape the future of Asia, influencing diplomacy, security, and the lives of millions for years to come.